We have it.
Devi Dasi has organized Rasa Leela performance. Now we'll begin the narration. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that the Ras dance took place on the full moon night of the Sharat season. It appears that Krishna enjoyed the Ras dance with the gopis when he was 8 years old. At that time, many of the gopis were married because in India, especially in those days, girls were married at a very early age. Under the circumstances, all the gopis who wanted to have Krishna as their husband were already married. At the same time, they continued to hope that Krishna would be their husband. Their attitude toward Krishna was that of a paramour lover. Therefore, the loving affairs of Krishna with the gopis is called Parakiya Ras. A married man or a wife who desires another wife or husband is called Parakiya Ras. Actually, Krishna is the husband of everyone because he is the supreme enjoyer. The gopis wanted Krishna to be their husband, but factually, there was no possibility of his marrying all the gopis because they had that natural tendency to accept Krishna as their supreme husband. The relationship between the gopis and Krishna is called Parakiya Ras. This Parakiya Ras is ever existent in Gokul, in the spiritual sky where there is no possibility of inebrity which characterizes Parakiya Ras. In the material world, Parakiya Ras is abominable, whereas in the spiritual world, it is present as the super excellent relationship of Krishna and the gopis. There are many other relationships with Krishna: master and servant, friends, parent and son, the lover and beloved. Out of these rases, the Parakiya Ras is considered to be the topmost. From going to Krishna by their husbands and were locked up by force within their rooms. Being unable to go to Krishna, they began to meditate upon his transcendental form by closing their eyes. When all the gopis assembled before Krishna, he began to speak to them, welcoming them as well as discouraging them by word jugglery. Krishna is the supreme speaker. And when Krishna began to receive them very officially, showing all kinds of etiquette, they were surprised. He was treating them as ordinary society women. Therefore, they began to smile amongst themselves, and they very eagerly listened to Krishna talk in that way.
Oh, ladies of Vrindavan, you are very fortunate, and you are very dear to me. I am so pleased that you have come here, and I hope everything is well in Vrindavan. Now please order me. What can I do for you? What is the purpose of your coming here in the dead of night? Kindly take your seats and let me know what I can do for you. You must know that it is late at night, and the forest is very dangerous. I think therefore you are taking a great risk in coming here. So please turn back immediately without delay. It does not look very well for young girls and boys to remain together at night. So now that you've seen the beautiful atmosphere of Vrindavan Forest, Please turn back and engage in the faithful service of your respective husbands.
Oh, Krishna, you are so cruel. You should not talk like that. We are full-fledged, surrendered souls. Please accept us. It is not worthy of your position to treat us like this. We have come to you, given everything.
As women, we are certainly satisfied when our hearts are engaged in the activities of family affairs. But our hearts have already been stolen by you. We can no longer engage them in family affairs. Besides that, you are asking us repeatedly to return home, and that is a very appropriate instruction. But unfortunately, we have been stunned here. Our legs have no power to move a step from your lotus feet.
Dear Krishna, you are known as Hari. You destroy all the miseries of the living entities. We have come to you with the hope that we may completely devote and dedicate our lives to your service. We are simply begging to be engaged in your service. We do not wish you to accept us as your wives. Simply accept us as your maidservants.
Dear Krishna, we have simply been captivated by seeing you with earrings and with tilak, and by seeing your beautiful face covered with scattered hair and your extraordinary smile. Hey, Bhagavad, if you accuse us of prostitution, then we can only ask, where is that woman within these three worlds who is not captivated by your beauty and the rhythmic songs vibrated by your transcendental flute?
Upon hearing the anxious plea of the gopis, the Supreme Personality of Godhead began to smile. When Krishna looked at the faces of the gopis, the beauty of their faces became 100 times enhanced. When he was enjoying them in their midst, he appeared just like the full moon surrounded by millions of shining stars. Thus, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, surrounded by hundreds of gopis and decorated with a flower garland of many colors, began to wander within the Vrindavan forest, sometimes singing to himself and sometimes singing with the gopis. In this way, both the Lord and the gopis reached the cool sandy bank of the Jamuna, where there were lilies and lotus flowers. In such a transcendental atmosphere, both the gopis and Krishna began to enjoy with one another. When Krishna suddenly disappeared from the company of the gopis, they began to search for him every place. After not finding him anywhere, they became afraid and almost mad after him. They were simply thinking of the pastimes of Krishna in great love and affection. Being absorbed in thought, they experienced loss of memory, and with dampened eyes, they began to see the pastimes of Krishna.
Oh, banyan tree, have you seen the son of Maharaj Nanda passing this way, laughing and playing his flute? He has stolen our hearts and has gone away. Dear Champaka flower tree, dear Naga flower tree, have you seen the younger brother of Balaram? He has disappeared because of our pride.
Oh, Tulsi, you are much beloved by Lord Krishna, as your leaves are always in his lotus feet. Oh, Malati, dear Malika flower, oh, Jasmine, you all must have been touched by Krishna while he was passing this way, after giving us transcendental enjoyment. Oh, mango tree, dear jackfruit, oh, paranasana trees, oh, blackberry, dear veil tree, oh, tree of kadamba flowers, you are all very pious trees to be living on the banks of the Yamuna. You must have seen Krishna pass through here. Please, kindly tell us which way he has gone.
After searching for Krishna here and there, When the gopis became fatigued, they began to talk like madwomen. They could only satisfy themselves by imitating the different pastimes of Krishna.
Now don't be afraid of torrents of rain or severe hurricanes. I will save you.
You rascal, Kulia! I will punish you severely. You must leave this place. I have descended on this earth to punish all kinds of miscreants.
Bhumi, Krita, Sita, my dear cows, please come.
Oh, Krishna, you play the flute so nicely.
Oh, here is the impression of the marks of the lotus feet of Krishna. The flag, the lotus flower, the trident, the thunderbolt are so clearly visible here. Oh, whose footprints are these? They are beside the footprints of the son of Maharaj Nanda.
You must understand that this particular gopi served Krishna with greater affectionate love than ourselves. Therefore, although he has left us, he could not leave her company.
Oh, there are the footprints of my Pranasaki, Sri Radhe. Oh, I am so happy for her.
Oh, friends, just see. At this particular spot, there is no footprints of that gopi. It appears that because there were some pinpricks from the dried grass, Krishna took Radharani on his shoulder.
Oh, she's so dear to him. Krishna must have picked some flowers in this very spot to satisfy Radharani. Because on this very spot, where he stood erect, he picked up flowers from the high branches of this tree, and we can only see half the footprints.
She must have taken Krishna deep into the forest and told him, "My dear Krishna, I am now very tired. I cannot go any further. Please carry me wherever you like." When Krishna was spoken to in this way, he might have told Radharani, "All right, better get on my shoulders." But immediately Krishna must have disappeared. And now Radharani must be lamenting for him. "My dear lover, my dearest, you were so fine and so powerful. Where have you gone? I am nothing but your most obedient maidservant. Please come and be with me again." Krishna, however, is not coming. He must be watching from a distant place and enjoying her sorrow. Oh, Krishna. And another. Radhe!
goddess of fortune always resides here. It is only for your sake that we, your devoted servants, maintain our lives. We have been searching everywhere for you. So please, please show yourself to us.
Excels the world of the finest, most perfectly formed lotus flower within the autumn pond. O bestower of benedictions, you are killing your maidservants who have given themselves to you freely, without any price. Isn't this murder?
Lotus-eyed one, your sweet voice and charming words, which attract the minds of the intelligent, are bewildering us more and more. Our dear hero, please revive your maidservants with the nectar of your lips.
Is just like poison. It causes so much pain because it reminds us of you. Thus, we suffer so much separation. Why then in the Puranas does it explain Harikatha to be just like nectar? It is because the authors of the Puranas are poets, and the nature of a poet is to exaggerate. We are always speaking Krishna Katha. It is supposed to be sweet nectar. So why are we feeling so much separation? We never feel any relief. We have left our homes, husbands, everything, and are wandering like beggars, weeping and weeping and weeping. Nothing is able to remove our tears. So even though poets describe your katha as nectar, in reality, it is full of sorrow and gives only suffering. If Krishna Katha was actually bestowing auspiciousness upon us, then you should come before us and give us your darshan. But we do not see it happen. As for those who distribute the Srimad Bhagavatam, door to door, village to village, saying, "Chant Hare Krishna, hear this message," they are spoiling everyone's lives. They are hunters and killers of men. They cut their lives, making them weep. Fathers, mothers, children are all weeping. They'll have to leave their
become like birds, living under trees, roaming here and there in Vrindavan, chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. We should not chant this Krishna Guitar. So why? So why don't we stop speaking it? It is because we cannot leave it. Oh, Krishna.
Your lotus feet fulfill the desires of all who bow down to them. They are worshipped by Lord Brahma, and they are the most beautiful ornament of the earth. In times of danger, they are the appropriate object of meditation. O destroyer of the distress suffered by our minds, please place those lotus feet upon our hearts.
Jatiyat Bhavan Adikanana Chutiyugayate Tvamapasyatam Kudilakuntalam Srimukam Chate Jadavudhasyatam my tradition.
Oh, Krishna, when you go off into the forest during the day, a tiny fraction of a second becomes like a millennium for us because we cannot see you. And even when we can look upon your beautiful face, adorned with curly hair, our pleasure becomes hindered by our eyelids, which were created, fashioned by a foolish creator.
Disudanvaya Rajivandhavan Ativirangaya Nityaratitaka Gatividas Dabod Gita Mohita Kistavayoshita Kasta Denishi.
Dear Achyuta, you know very well why we have come here. Who but a cheater like you would abandon young girls who come to see him in the middle of the night, enchanted by the loud song of his flute? Just to see you, we have completely rejected our husbands, children, ancestors, brothers, and all other relatives.
Sajatana Guruham Staneshu Gita Shanarpiyati Maika Kasheshu Tinata Vimata Sita Yatate Makimse Kurpadi Vir Brahmati Vir Brahmadayushana.
Oh, Krishna, your feet are so soft that we place them on our breasts, fearing that your feet will be hurt. Our life depends on you. Oh, Krishna.
Our minds, therefore, are filled with anxiety,
that your tender feet might be wounded by pebbles as you roam about on the forest path.
Dear Krishna, we are ordinary women of Vrindavan, and we do not know much about Vedic knowledge, what is right and what is wrong. We therefore put a question to you, and since you are very learned, you can answer it properly. Some people reciprocate only with those who show honor to them, while on the contrary, others will reciprocate even if the other shows no honor. Yet another class will not reciprocate with anyone. Please, Krishna, properly explain to us, into which of these categories do you yourself belong?
My dear friends, persons who simply reciprocate the loving dealings of another party are just like merchants. They give in their loving affairs as much as they get from other parties. Practically, there is no question of love. It is simply business dealings, and it is self-interested or self-centered. Better the second class of men, who love in spite of the opposite party's contrariness. Even without a tinge of loving affairs, are better than the merchants. Since love can be seen when the father or mother love their children, in spite of their child's neglect, the third class neither reciprocates nor neglects. They can be further divided into two classes. One is self-satisfied, who do not require anyone's love. They are called Atmaram, which means they are absorbed in the thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they do not care whether one loves them or not. But another class are ungrateful men. They are called the callous, the men in the group of revolt against the superior persons. For instance, a son, in spite of receiving all kinds of things from loving parents, may be callous and not reciprocate. Those in the class are generally known as Rudrohi, which means they receive favors from the parents or spiritual master and yet neglect them. My dear friends, you might be aggrieved by the words and acts. You must know that sometimes I do not reciprocate my dealings with my devotees. It appears that my devotees are very much attached to me, and sometimes I do not reciprocate their feelings properly in order to increase their love for me more and more. If I can very easily be approached, they might think, Krishna is so easily available. So sometimes I do not respond. If a person has no money, but after some time accumulates some wealth and then loses it, he will think about the loss of property 24 hours a day. Similarly, in order to increase the love of my devotees, sometimes I appear to be lost to them. And instead of forgetting me, they feel their loving sentiments for me increase. My dear friends, do not think that for a moment that I have been dealing with you just like ordinary devotees. I know who you are. You have forsaken all kinds of social and religious obligations. You have given up all connection with your parents without caring for social convention and religious obligations. You have come to me and loved me, and I am much obligated to you. I cannot treat you as ordinary devotees. Do not think that I was away from you. I was near to you. I was simply seeing how much you were anxious for me in my absence. So please try not to find fault in me if I have done anything wrong. I cannot repay your continual love for me, even though out of the lifetimes of the demigods and the heavenly planets, it is impossible to repay you or show gratitude for your love. Therefore, please be satisfied by your own past activities. You have displayed exclamatory attraction for me, overcome by the greatest difficulties arising from family connections. Be satisfied with your highly exclamatory character, for it is not possible for me to repay you by your debt.
It has been told that Madhurena Samapayet. What is the meaning? the end should be so sweet. So end.
If R goes well, if N goes well.
So now so Madhurena Samapayet. Our classes and our Mahotsav festival ends with these sweet pastimes of Krishna. Heartly blessings those who is director of this Ras Leela. Gauraji. And also who has managed all these things. Oh, for innumerable Krishna and all with all the gopis, Krishna became so many. All looks from outside that Krishna has become so many, but Krishna was so tricky. No opulence there was. Krishna never became so many, but he was dancing and moving in so quickly, like what? That it looked like that. Oh, he has been so much Krishna, like every gopi is dancing and from this Leela, Krishna went to Mathura after this. This Leela is pastimes, including all the Leelas in the Ras Leela. And this Leela went on for one night of Brahma. Moon was seeing and he could not move here. Always. She was looking. And she forget to move. So you should try to know. Something has been told that really the gopis were not Parkiya. They are of Krishna. All were manifestants of one, bodily manifestants of Srimati Radhika. And Radhika is one with Krishna. Only to make vilas and for the jivas, souls, conditioned souls. Krishna played like this, that who will hear these pastimes with affection and honor, they will have the Braja Prem. So, you should, if you have so much honor to read and to discuss about this, you can hear the past these pastimes. And thus, by hearing, what will be? All your hed rog will go away. Vikriditam brajvadubhi idancha vishno Shraddhanmitanushuniyat atha varnaye daja bhaktim param bhagavati patilabhya kamam hidarogomasu apihichar. Like sadharan devotees, they think that we should chant and remember and our heart will be pure, and then we should hear these things. Actually, you cannot do with honor if you remember these pastimes and hear from any superior Vaishnava with so much honor. Then what will be first? Krishna Prem will come and your heart disease will go away afterward. First bhakti should come. as much as bhakti will come, heart roll and every disease will go away. So this is the process. Not that, oh, we should make our heart so clear and pure. It will take lakhs and lakhs, but you cannot do like this. This is not process. Where you are, you be there. But with very care, with honor, you should hear and remember the past, sweet pastimes of Krishna. You should not do like Sahajiya, imitate. You should not be Krishna. You should try to be like gopis and hear all these things. Then at once your all heart disease will go away and you will be pure devotee. Gaur Preman. All. And you should try to develop and always remember all these things, to hear these things, read Srimad Bhagavatam, practice from beginning. Rupa Goswami teaching, Raghunath Das Goswami Manashikha, and from there you should be like this. Very strong devotees. This is our aim and object. My heartly blessings to all who are doing and who are hearing and who are here. So my blessings to all. Gaur Preman. Narayana Maharaj ki. Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Maharaj ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. New Braj ki. Gaur Premanande. New Brajabasi ki.
Someone found these things down by the river. So there's glasses and some batteries. And also someone lost a watch over here near Nirguna's house on the grass, a black digital watch. So if anybody found that, they can give that to me. So, okay. And also this. And there's a microphone right here also. Found, yes.
I'm sure it's like Manjari.